Sekarang rasanya sangat panas. Kami seperti nggak bertahan lagi untuk hidup di daerah yang semakin panas ini.
இங்கே ஆஃபீஸ்லேருந்து சொல்லுவாங்க அதுக்கு நாம் எடுத்துகிட்டு போனோம் அடிச்சு பிடிச்சினே போனோம் அந்த தெருவுக்கு அங்கே போனால் அடிச்சுப்பாங்க வேறு.
Sebenarnya masyarakat itu kalau diberi solusi untuk soal yang dialami, dia bisa melakukan lebih daripada apa yang kita pikirkan.
Water is a necessity in life, a must-have resource for survival. But what would happen if we were to lose access to it?
Water is already a scarce resource, and while it is being squandered and contaminated on a massive scale, more than 785 million people have no access to at least basic water services, and more than 884 million people have no safe water to drink.
The world's water is in serious trouble, and the mechanism that we've devised to manage and care for it are insufficient.
71% of the earth is covered with water. Yes, but that does not give us an infinite supply of fresh water.
97.5% of world's water is salt water, while only 2.5% is fresh water. Alarmingly, 99% of fresh water is either trapped in glaciers, ice caps, or water tables that are too deep to access. This leaves us with only 1% of fresh water readily available for consumption.
Today, the Asia Society has been reported 1 out of 6 people will have inadequate access to safe and clean water. The United Nations even projected by 2025 that half of the world will face water-related problems. And by 2050, 3 out of 4 people will be affected by water scarcity.
Issues on water supply are particularly pressing in Asia, as it houses more than half of the world's population, but has less access to fresh water, with only 3,920 cubic meter per person per year. Not to mention, Asia's urban population is likely to increase by 60% in 2025.
Inadequate sanitation, nutrient deficiency, diseases, and worst, death are only a few of the many dilemmas we would be facing once we lost access to safe and clean water.
Now, what we can do to save mankind from this doom called water scarcity? The answer is simple. We need to look at an alternative source of water for human consumption.
We are the A4 team, and we are delighted to introduce the greenhouse-induced rainfall filtration technique.
The technique consists of 3 major processes, which are greenhouse construction, rainwater collection, and the last one is water filtration.
The effectiveness of the rainfall filtration technique is greatly influenced by the frequency of rainfall. To address this concern, a partnership with private groups of companies will be pursued, wherein greenhouses will be built under rooftop buildings. And each tree planted there could store up to 100 gallons of water and release the same in the air, which helps in the formation of clouds, thereby causing rainfall.
Next, to collect rainwater, flat silo proof and water tanks with filtering device are needed. Using the flat silo proof, rainwater will be directed to gutter pipe, which will be passed to leaf filter, preventing any large impurities entering the tank. The first portion of rainwater collected will enter the first flush pipe, where unclean water caused by rooftop debris will be stored. The succeeding water flow will pass through microfilter that can filter smaller particles such as insects and sand before entering the tank. The result of such process is a clean water that can be used for gardening, toilets, and laundry.
Following that, a pipe with alternating layers with small rock, sand, and charcoal with a microfiber cloth holding them in place will be used for further filtration of water. The result of this is clean water that can be used for shower and for drinking if boiled first.
However, there is still a low risk of contamination, hence the need for the third process. Rainwater sanitation can be done by using small microfiltrations and UV light treatment. Small microfiltration will filter the microorganisms using cartridges, while UV light treatment works by penetrating the organism's cell wall and preventing their reproduction, thereby reducing harmful pathogens in the water, which will make it safe for the drinking.
Through the greenhouse-induced rainfall filtration technique, water-related issues like shortage of clean and safe water will be minimized, thereby contributing to the attainment of SDG 6, or clean water and sanitation.
Additionally, having clean and safe water will prevent waterborne illness such as cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, hepatitis A, typhoid, and polio, which is very common in the most countries who were deprived of having clean and safe water, thus promoting good health and well-being.
Climate change is also addressed in the establishments of the green roof, as it helps in the storage and processing of the harmful gases into oxygen.
A solution has been laid down. Now are you up for some action?
We are the A14 promoting
The greenhouse-induced rainfall filtration technique.